Hello, everybody. Sorry about that. Hold on. Hi, everybody. Welcome here to the channel. Welcome here to the video. Welcome here to the Sports Talk Network. Tonight we'll be talking about Monday Night Raw, SmackDown Live, Backlash a little bit as well, along with talking about everything leading up to Money in the Bank, the third best pay-per-view WWE does have. Hopefully, some or any of my team members will be able to join me, or maybe some guests. Who knows? We'll see as this night goes along. Though it won't be that long of a video, but still. I guess the biggest thing to talk about, or I guess the biggest thing to talk about that has to retain the WWE Backlash is the Backlash show has been getting. A lot of the WWE Universe not happy with the show, saying some of the worst ever, blah, 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 this and that, showing their opinion and being argumentative because they can be or want to be. However, their reasoning for that. But to me, I say that I think Backlash was a good pay-per-view. It wasn't great, and it certainly wasn't one of the best ever, but it was starting new for WWE, having these now dual-branded pay-per-view events each and every month through this WWE season. This Backlash turning it off was not so bad. And I enjoyed it for what it was. I mean, Ruby Riott defeating Bayley. So first defeating Sasha Banks in a Raw, now defeating Bayley in the pre-show of the show. Oh, Backlash. You have the start of the show with the Intercontinental Championship stealing the show in its own right. Seth Rollins retaining his title, defeating SmackDown Live's Miz. Then from there, I could have gotten a little less interesting and not as awesome, at least in match quality, but still the show was pretty good. It does have some interesting and entertaining moments as well. It's kind of befuddled and not too happy with how the match between Daniel Bryan and Big Cass ended. I mean, Big Cass just tap Daniel Bryan, though I did like the beating afterwards. Big Cass is going to have his qualifying match this next week in England. Yeah, and yes, we'll already know the results of Raw and SmackDown before the shows even air, but that'll help me prepare for my reviews that much earlier. At least for the results of things, then I'll watch the show and how those results happened, right? You can still be spoiled on things and not totally ruin it for you. At least for me. You can still enjoy the journey. Apologize. I'm going to have you guys walk with me. Walk with Elias. We're going to walk with Steven. I got to go get myself something. Even though I could have waited for it, but no. Now I feel like I'm Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. Here we go. Where I am. Anyways. So like I said, Backlash, it was a pretty dang good pay-per-view event. I certainly enjoyed most of the match that were on the card. It was interesting, though, you have it with the finish of the WWE Championship match being no contest. And all of that definitely automatically lead to another championship match at Money in the Bank. Probably, maybe. But who knows? But like I said, good show. Then Raw and SmackDown, starting with the build to Money in the Bank. I'm always excited because the Money in the Bank, almost like the Royal Rumble, you have the most unpredictability, yes, of any event of your shows overall. Because that's what I like about multi-superstar matches. Elimination Chambers, Royal Rumbles, Battle Royals, Fatal 5-way, 4-way, to an extent, triple threat. Championship scramble matches, you know what I mean. You know, those type of matches, because the unpredictability-ness, or just the unpredictability of those matches are always at a high level, at least to me. Though in those matches, depending on what the matches are, we have our individual favorites who we think is going to win or who should, quote unquote, should win. And what we think WWE's thinking or what we think WWE's going to do. And sometimes we'll book or predict that way because of what WWE's thinking. You want to predict it to be correct in that sense, to win a prediction battle, whether a friendly one or otherwise. But either way, Money in the Bank is going to be pretty awesome. And we already have, or did have, on Monday and Tuesday on Raw and SmackDown Live, qualifying matches for both Money in the Bank ladder matches, men and women. And the rules are as follows, or at least the setup for Money in the Bank. We're going to have 2 ladder matches. As of right now, 2 ladder matches, though we could have a third that could be for tag team briefcases, for tag team titles. But as of right now, 2 of them, men's and women's division. 8 total WWE superstars for both of them. 8 men, 8 women for their individual briefcase ladder matches. 4 will represent Monday Night Raw. 4 will represent SmackDown Live. And go from there. So that certainly will be awesome in its own right. I just hope somebody at least joins the dang episode. It'd be nice to have someone else. But either way, Backlash was good. Money in the Bank qualifying matches were interesting. You had Braun Strowman defeats Kevin Owens for a spot in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. We had Ember Moon defeat Ruby Riott and Sasha Banks for one of the women's spots. I thought Ruby Riott was going to be winning that one, but whatever. I do think, though, the 4 representatives for the women's side for Raw brand, the 4 representatives, the 4 reps for Monday Night Raw in the women's division, 4 to the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, the second annual now, moving on from the inaugural one, that now all women can be part of, but still 4 for 4 Raw, 4 SmackDown. To my point, though, 4 Raw superstars in the women's division to be part of that women's Money in the Bank ladder match will be, and I predict this to be, we already have Ember Moon. I say Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Ruby Riott. I see all 4 of them being those representatives for Monday Night Raw in the 8 women Money in the Bank ladder match. So we have Charlotte and Ember Moon earning spots in the women's. We have Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, The Miz, and the Rusev already. So that's technically half the field, but it's still only right now 2 Raw superstars, 2 SmackDown Live superstars for the men's division, and they're 8-man. So they both need 2 more, obviously, for each brand. So it's going to be interesting what other qualifying matches we have. Should they really have, that's something that I was thinking, should they really have these qualifying matches on taped shows here in England? I mean, it's good for the people watching there, I guess, for the audience there, live in person for the Raw and for the SmackDown. Have something for them, right? But you don't want to have some really big things happen because it's going to be spoiled for those in the United States, or at least for those that do read the spoilers. Not everybody does. I understand that. But for those that do, they're not, if they find out these things, they're going to let people know. Obviously, that's just how we are on social media. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I just mean that in the honest, that's just how it works. # deal with it way. So let's say we have qualifying matches, one or two of them on both brands. We're on SmackDown Live, and we read those spoilers and say, hey, cool. So this person and this person and this person and this person qualify for the men or women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Awesome. Now I already have a title for my Raw review before Raw even happens. Now that's more on me for looking at the spoilers. That's not against WWE. That's not against NoDQ.com or other websites that might post the spoilers. But the point being is for that not to happen, or at least for that type of thing to be spoiled, don't have those matches on the Raw and SmackDown Live. Because, someone, whether on Twitter or a regular news site or for the podcaster, will bring it up. But whether even before the show or otherwise. Because I don't know, maybe there's bloggers, YouTubers out there that already do that for these type of shows that already have, maybe not reviews, but already have videos on their channel, maybe quick ones or otherwise, talking about already the spoilers. Which is fine, and that's, if we're doing fiction otherwise, all good. But it's just, hold on up to next week. We still have 3 to 4 more weeks till we get to the next favorite review. 3 to 4 weeks till we get to the go-home shows of Raw and SmackDown. We have 2 more spots needed for Raw brand, 2 more spots needed for the SmackDown Live brand in the men's match, because we already have half the field total already announced, already earning their spots. Now in the women's, we only have 2 right now, Charlotte Flair and Ember Moon, 1 Raw, 1 SmackDown. So 3-3 for their needing to qualify, which makes more sense to do it that way. And I would have wanted that way for both the men's and the women's. On the Raw side, you have a men and women's qualifying match each week, 4 weeks leading up to the pay-per-view, right? Unless it's 5 weeks or whatever, who cares? Maybe that's even more perfect if it was 5 weeks to the pay-per-view, because you have all 4 spots for Raw and SmackDown brand to make 80 total for the men and women's. And then if there was a 5th week, that'd be in the go-home shows, and then you would have matches, promos, and stuff like that, wrapping it all into both of the shows, heading into said pay-per-view, you know what I mean? But if it is still only 4 weeks, I think the women's division in the women's Money in the Bank ladder match is doing it right, at least to me. 1 qualifying match for each brand, for each division, men and women's, for each brand each week, so you can get your 4 and 4 Raw and SmackDown for each one, and then you have your 8 superstars and you're ready to go for Money in the Bank for both the men and women. So that certainly would be interesting to me. Jackson Parker, thank you for being here in the chat. Who do you think will win Money in the Bank? Andrade Cien Almas is the best wrestler in the WWE ever. I don't know about ever, but if that's your opinion, I respect that. The _man89. Were you born in 1989? I was born in 1988. If that has nothing to do with the year of 1989, then I apologize. But either way, he is awesome, and I'm looking forward to seeing Almas being on SmackDown Live. He does debut this Thursday, so that's totally awesome. Maybe he'll be in the men's Money in the Bank. Maybe he'll have a qualifying match, or if not a qualifying match this Thursday, maybe announced to be next week. Because again, I don't want these awesome moments things to be happening on these almost in a way throwaway Raws and SmackDowns that are overseas that are already can be spoiled. Hold things off for the next week. Just let it be. Let it breathe. And for Jackson Parker, who I think will win Money in the Bank, my early prediction, my early favorites for the men and women's. For the women's, I say Ruby Riott. I know she lost her qualifying match, but I say she's going to make it. Like I said, my prediction for the 4 representatives for the women's side on Raw brand, the Raw brand, Monday Night Raw, is Ruby Riott, Sasha Banks, Ember Moon, and Bayley. So in my booking and my prediction, and Ruby Riott's part of the match. I would also want to see Mandy Rose. I'd also want to see in the end it being Ruby Riott versus Mandy Rose. I'm sorry, Ruby Riott, Mandy Rose, one of the newbies on on the main roster. Excuse me, battling out for the briefcase, and that being the spot, that being the finish of the match between those two, gunning it out, or one of those rookies, quote unquote, on the main roster, beating a veteran. Right? So Ruby Riott, maybe Charlotte Flair or Sasha Banks, and winning that way. So either way, I have Ruby Riott be my prediction for the women's. And for the men's right now, early prediction for Money in the Bank, I would probably say that person to be The Miz. I'd probably say The Miz, Jackson Parker. I would say The Miz be my prediction for the men. And Ruby Riott for the women. And like I said, I am looking forward to Andrade Cien Almas being on SmackDown Live. It's going to be awesome. Looking forward to that. I really do hope he does make it in the match. So we'll all see about that. That's pretty much it for Raw and SmackDown. If there's any other questions or comments or concerns that you wish to bring up here in the chat, welcome to. Also, welcome to smash the like button while you're watching. Whoever is watching during this time in the evening. Like I said, I apologize. I don't have any of my team members, other minds to give opinions or answer your questions. Everybody's busy here on Thursdays. Maybe I might have to change the day of my show. I'll have to text someone and see if they're able to join. But either way, like I said, Braun SmackDown pretty good. And pretty good, heading into and on the road to Money in the Bank. Not too much international news either, WWE, that need to bring up. Like I said, I really hope they do have Mandy Rose qualify and make it for the women's Money in the Bank. I think she's deserving of it. To be quite honest, to have her in the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. I do certainly think the things are getting interesting as we're slowly heading to that said pay-per-view. You guys and gals already know how much I enjoy Money in the Bank and how much I respect it and think it's going to be pretty awesome, as it is every single year. It's one of the best. But all right, anyways, moving right along. Like I said, not too much else with Raw and SmackDown Live. The biggest things being those qualifying matches for the Money in the Bank. And beyond that, not too much to say. Like, I'm so surprised with YouTubers that can talk so much and so long about things. Where I'm one that's just like a hit and quit it thing. Like, just talk about specific the shows and then move on. Like, it's really crazy in that way, or that sense. That's just how I am. But it also is unfortunate with my team members not being able to be here or wanting to be here or otherwise tonight. Some are busy, yes. Some are, but either way. Jay Thomas asking who is in the Money in the Bank. Well, so far for the men, we have Braun Strowman, we have Finn Balor, The Miz, and Rusev. And for the women, in their Money in the Bank ladder match, we have Charlotte Flair and Ember Moon. So half of the field is set, at least match with a total of 8 are set for the men, and only 2 spots of the 8 are set for the women. So that's something interesting. I already brought up here, Jay Thomas, that I do like how they're doing it with the women having one qualifying match for each brand on SmackDown each week. I don't know if that'll continue or if that was just for this first week, but I hope it does because that's the best way to do it. And you can slowly get to your 4 representatives of Raw and SmackDown during these 4 weeks. And by the go home show or the go home, the go home to the go home, have your 8 women locked up and have that match set up for Money in the Bank in the women's division for that briefcase. So I think it's pretty cool. So what's not cool is the look of the new briefcases. I mean, seriously, what the heck is that? One being green, kind of weird, different lettering as well. I just like how it was the old style, simple and way to go. And it looked awesome as well. I really thought it did. Yeah, Jamie's saying, I say Braun, he needs the belt, with it being Braun versus Lesnar again. Maybe. Like I said, for me, my early favorite right now was Miz for the men's. I don't know where exactly I see Braun moving forward, but right now I just simply see the Miz being the odds-on favorite right now. Though I really would want Rusev. I really wish Dean Ambrose was back to win the briefcase again. But either way, for right now, I probably would go with the Miz. Yeah, it's really going to be interesting. I'm certainly going to enjoy Money in the Bank. It's going to be a great card. I think it's supposed to be a long pay-per-view, 5 hours, because it's officially now one of the main 5, called the Big 5. Money in the Bank being added to that list of big shows. I mean, it's a big show. It's going to be a long show. It's going to be a high-powered WWE's going to give a crap kind of pay-per-view when they have an NXT show the night before, right? They have one before WrestleMania, the night before Mania, the night before SummerSlam, the night before the Royal Rumble, the night before Survivor Series. So the fact they're going to have the NXT Chicago show, which, hey, close to my area, close to Chicago, Illinois. I was thinking about going to Money in the Bank. I don't know if I'd be able to take someone with me. I mean, right there, or I'm looking at you, Jay Thomas. But they're in Iowa. But I don't know. I was thinking about it. Though I still want to make WrestleMania my first event to ever go to, but I don't know. Maybe, just maybe. Money in the Bank. 4 weeks away. I'm sure there's still tickets available. And I do say Money in the Bank, third best. WWE has, so it'd be awesome to see it. That's for sure. She said she'd like to see Braun beat Lesnar's streak, man. Look, Lesnar's already going to beat CM Punk's record for longest title reign as the WWE champion. So that's, whether unfortunate to you or fortunate or whatever kind of stat to bring up, but that's just how that be, I guess. Yeah, same here. I want to see the Undertaker entrance. So I was hoping to go to a WrestleMania or otherwise. I don't see him being at Money in the Bank, but I'm just saying I still would like to maybe go there since it is close to my neck of the woods here in the Midwest. At least I'm thinking about it. I guess the biggest news to bring up, I guess, is would you want there to be a tag team Money in the Bank ladder match? That wouldn't be too terrible than having a tag team Money in the Bank. Having 3 Money in the Bank ladder matches, this one being the tag team, and if there is a tag team one, the odds-on favorite I would have right now and predict to win that would probably be Ziggler and McIntyre. Or the club. I don't know. I would probably say Ziggler and McIntyre. I know a lot of others would say Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, but I say a little different there. But either way, it's certainly going to be awesome and interesting nonetheless. But yeah, I wouldn't mind there being a third Money in the Bank ladder match. Wouldn't mind at all. Beyond that, not too many other news and notes and otherwise to be bringing up here on the show. Just wanted to share about Backlash, Monday Night Raw, at least the qualifying matches. Because to me, qualifying matches are the biggest part of the show, right? Or will be the biggest part of the show each and every week heading into Money in the Bank. And good or bad, could be bad or maybe good. I don't know. However you see it, for SmackDown Live only being 2 hours like this past week, having the 3 qualifying matches, 2 men, 1 women, and then you really only had 2 other matches. Yeah, you had other promos backstage and otherwise, but just 2 other matches or 2 actual other matches beyond the qualifying matches, and that being Cesaro and his match against Woods defeating him, and then Mandy Rose defeating Becky Lynch, which was awesome. Mandy Rose's entrance, if you haven't seen that yet, it's fantabulously awesome. At least I thought it was certainly interesting, nonetheless. Excuse me. Interesting, nonetheless. Trying to see here if there's any other news and notes. Big Cass, having some heat backstage for his promo 2 weeks ago with Little Person, and kind of going off script there. Maybe that's why he lost to Daniel Bryan at Backlash in the way that he did. Which is unfortunate, I guess. I don't think he's going to hurt his push if he's going to have one wrong, but losing at Backlash because of that, yeah, whatever. That's a punishment. Fine, that's a punishment. Nothing to worry about too much there for sure. But that's pretty much it. Like I said, just want to talk about the show. So I have this nice podcast here. Don't worry. Hopefully, in the next couple of weeks, things will improve. Hopefully, my team members will be able to join and be able to hear other opinions and voices about the shows. Though I did do this all alone on my own one-man band for years previous to having a team. Now I'm just used to having a team and want to have them here each week. So now I'm thinking in that way. But I used to do this all on my own for a long time. Sometimes you feel it's a good thing. Sometimes it's a negative thing, right? It could be a good thing because you don't have anybody stopping you. You can just talk with however you feel. You don't have to feel awkward or let people looking at you or whatever you're saying. And stop to let them talk as well. But then again, it's also good because then you can let them talk, let them bring up whatever you want. You can look up stuff while they're talking. Yes, you're still listening, but prepare other things and do other things, and then be able to move on from there in the conversation and in the episode. So it's good and bad with having a team or doing it alone. Either way, on the plate, I do work hard to have good episodes each and every week. So it may not be my best, but don't worry, we shall improve. And certainly it's going to be lit and good and awesome when we get to the Money in the Bank prediction episode, because I know for sure, if anything, they will join me then, my team members or guests. And maybe I have to talk to them about I don't know, I might have to let them go. Might not have to have a team, or maybe I might have to move the day of the episodes. I don't know. We'll see either way, however that moves on, moving forward, of how things are going to work here at the Ramble. But either way, hope you all have a great rest of your day. Above all else, as always, take care.